Special birthday wish on behalf of her late husband.
People of Earth, how are you? How's life been for you? I hope it will get easier and easier for us.
It was a global celebration, the 50th birthday of John Lennon, emanating from the United Nations building. As fans gathered outside to remember the ex-Beatle, an audience of friends and diplomats at the UN, and 1 billion people listening and viewing in 130 countries around the world heard a simulcast of perhaps Lennon's best-known song, Imagine. The wife of UN Secretary General Marcela Perez de Cuellar joined Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono.
I would like us to remember and celebrate his birthday as a day of love, because he was a man of love, and because love is much needed at this time in our lives. Happy birthday, John.
Just think of your children, you know. Do you want them to be killed or don't you? And that's the choice we have in front of us, war or peace.
Tuesday, the 9th day of October, John Lennon would have been 50 years old today.
Imagine there's no heaven. See if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky.
Imagine all the people. I'm here because I love John Lennon. I feel he was a man of vision. He was really ahead of his time, working for peace and love on the earth.
Imagine there's no country.
My father has all his tapes.
It isn't hard to do.
He's the greatest. Nobody can beat him. I grew up loving John Lennon and I went through my whole life with John Lennon.
Well, I just wanted to share the moment of what actually Imagine was supposed to be. And that's to share the moment in world unity and peace.
Imagine all the people living life in peace. You.
Ben Farnsworth, News 4, New York.
And throughout tonight's program, we're going to be playing some of John Lennon's music as a tribute and as a reminder.
The former site of the Caravan Club, where the world's greatest rock and roll band was discovered.
We thank you for the birth of John Lennon 50 years ago, and for the particular gifts you so generously bestowed upon him.
Lennon was shot to death at the Dakota apartment building on Manhattan's Upper West Side on December 8th, 1980. John Lennon is gone, but his music, his message, and his legacy live on. Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, is making sure that she is not forgotten. Today at the United Nations, she took part in a simultaneous broadcast of Lennon's plea for peace, Imagine, played by 1,000 radio stations in 130 countries with an audience of some 1 billion people. Louis Young joins us now with more on this emotional tribute to John Lennon. Louis.
Well, Ross, perhaps more than any other city, John Lennon's memory belongs to New York. This is where he lived most of his final years. This is where he was murdered almost 10 years ago. Now, today in Manhattan, a mile from the scene of his death, a short ceremony took place to remember the man and spread his message.
And we all love him, and that's what this
Yoko Ono was escorted to the podium at the UN's Trusteeship Council chambers today by the wife of the General Secretary. John Lennon made world peace his public passion in the years after the Beatles disbanded. Today was his 50th birthday. It has been nearly 10 years since his death. His widow helped us all remember as if it were yesterday.
For a dream we dream alone is only a dream. But the dream we dream together is reality. Happy birthday, John.
Just show your neighbours that you're trying to be peaceful, however hard it is. It's hard for us all. Just pass the word about it. Just give it a thought, you know. Just have a...
Lennon's voice echoed out over the chamber and was broadcast out into the streets. Spoken words first, then music, about a world that could be if we could all imagine it at once.
Imagine there's no heaven.
The assumption is that the song Imagine is being played on 1,000 different radio stations at the same time in 130 different countries, that for this one brief moment, the world is really together.
On the corner of 1st Avenue and 47th, people who could not get into the UN stood listening to the broadcast. closer to the intent of the thing, they began to sing. Hesitantly at first, then stronger. The message that grows with repetition.
That's simple, huh?
Yeah, it's basically that simple.
As human as any of us when he was alive, it is no small thing that Lennon is remembered today for the best part of his nature, the part of him that asked us all to be something more. Ross?
What a talent. Thanks, Lou. Well, Lennon's former sidekick, Paul McCartney, is sending his share of birthday wishes. Today, he released the video and live single of the Beatle hit Birthday, which is part of his forthcoming album, Tripping the Live Fantastic. McCartney says the release date and Lennon's birthday are just a happy coincidence, but also a nod and a wink to an old mate. By the way, today is also the birthday of Lennon's son, Sean. He's 15. So happy birthday to father and son.
This
I had Sean.